Hey there, Mr. Journalist. Hey there, Mr. News Reporter. You got some truth for me? Can I have a little perspective, a little truth? No? You want to lie to me, do you? You want to lie to me? What's that? Must be the sound of another journalist lying. This is times journalists were caught dead to rights in lies. DFF.
Die perfekte Freunde!
Why are they such liars, Paul? Fake news. Fake news.
I mean,
you know what I mean, Paul? Fake news, Paul.
I think a more interesting show might have been, here's 3 journalists that have been caught in the truth.
This journalist was caught telling the truth to these readers, TJ, viewers, whatever.
Quiet, TJ. Those talking here. Just want to applaud you, TJ. Done a really brave episode here. Tremendous episode. A fantastical episode. I want to say that.
Most of the lies, though, I think in journalism are like,
although, look,
they put a spin on it.
The media constantly lies, TJ. Everyone knows that. Do you guys trust the media? Just quick poll here. Trust the media, TJ?
No. The media shouldn't have its freedoms.
Should have the freedoms.
No freedoms.
Excuse me. I have the freedoms. I don't think Anakin here. He says liar. Yep, he knows.
Dude, Obi-Wan's definitely like CNN. He's like, Anakin, the light side is the way. And Anakin's like, you fucking lie.
Usually the news lies to us via like spin or like selectively doling out certain facts and not others.
With narrative framing, yeah.
You know, presenting things out of context, things like that. But that's not what this is about. This is about just times where they just fucking out and out told a bold-faced fucking lie.
Full-blown lie.
Full-blown, absolute, dead to rights.
Undeniable
lie.
I remember this guy.
There I was on the deck of the Titanic.
We're going to start with Brian Williams because we really can't avoid it.
And somehow he still has a fucking career, too.
I know, right? Weird.
It's very strange.
MSNBC, isn't he now? That's where he does.
Yeah.
The show.
So here he is. The story actually started with a terrible moment a dozen years back during the invasion of Iraq when the helicopter we were traveling in was forced down after being hit by an RPG. Our traveling NBC News team was rescued, surrounded, and kept alive by an armored mechanized platoon from the U.S. Army 3rd Infantry. What a harrowing tale.
Wow.
That's just
what a brave man.
Lucky to be alive. And he's only alive right now because of the bravery of the men and women of the armed forces.
The 3rd Infantry, Scotty. Wow.
God bless them. And may God protect our troops, TJ.
Brian Williams has told this story multiple times. He claims that in 2003, during a reporting trip in Iraq, a helicopter he was riding in came under fire from terrorists and required an emergency landing. The only problem is total, absolute, 100%, no question about it, bullshit. Bullshit.
Were you there, TJ? Were you there?
Bullshit.
Look, that's a helicopter right there.
According to soldiers that were actually on the helicopter that was attacked by terrorists and had to make an emergency landing, Brian was not there. In fact, Brian didn't even arrive close to the area of the emergency landing until an hour plus after it happened. Flight engineer Lance Reynolds said, it was something personal for us that was kind of life-changing for me. I know how lucky I was to survive it. It felt like a personal experience that someone else wanted to participate in and didn't deserve to participate in. So,
I mean, yeah, it's like
these guys
happened to you, and then you have someone go like, "Yeah, me too." Yeah, wait a minute, you weren't there, dude.
These guys, their helicopter came under fire. They were forced to fucking land. Brian Williams shows up like an hour later. He's like, "Yeah, me too, guys. I know what you mean, man. Wow, I was there,
dude. I could have been on that helicopter. It pretty much counts.
I was
I'm here now.
I was in the shit, as they say." I feel like we're now brothers in battle because I, too, have been in the shit.
After coming under heavy scrutiny and backlash, mainly from members of the United States Armed Forces, Brian Williams decided to apologize.
An apology video.
Like, how do you apologize for this, though? I made up a weird, absurd lie to aggrandize myself, and boy, am I sorry about it. Obviously, because I got caught. It's like, how do you even apologize for some shit like this? There's no way he could be sorry. He's only sorry because people found out.
Here you go.
And thank a veteran who protected me and so many others after a ground fire incident in the desert during the Iraq War invasion. I made a mistake in recalling the events of 12.
I made a mistake in recalling the events.
That's how it happens. Like, sometimes in your mind, you took a helicopter ride and it came under fire and you were forced to land.
You know what?
And sometimes you just don't remember that.
I forgot I was not in the helicopter that came under enemy fire and had to emergency land.
Wow.
Yeah. I just forgot.
It turns out I wasn't there.
Yeah. Oops.
It did not take long to hear from some brave men and women in the air crews who were also in that desert. I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident and spent 2 harrowing nights in a sandstorm in the Iraq desert. This was a bungled attempt by me to thank one special veteran and, by extension, our brave military men and women, veterans everywhere, those who have served while I did not. I hope they know they have my greatest respect and also now my apology.
Dun, 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 dun. So, I was in, I was in a following aircraft, and so I got confused about which one I was in. It's just like...
Yeah, I mean, that's not an apology.
His apology contained another lie. He claimed he was in a different helicopter following the one that got shot down. This is also not the case.
Dude, he couldn't even just fucking own it at that point.
What a nightmare, bro.
Does he have to apologize again for his next lie?
So here's the ladies from The View reacting for whatever reason.
Fuck you, TJ.
No,
fuck
if you were in a helicopter that was actually hit by a missile. So I don't think he didn't remember that. I think he...
Dude, I want The View to just be replaced by...
What do you mean replaced by?
What do you mean replaced by? That actually is...
I was going to say, that's what it is now, dude.
fabricated that story, and the apology seemed a little oddly circuitous.
Circuitous. Bam, Rosie. That's a good fucking word right
circuitous.
There. It was circuitous. I agree. It was also full of shit because he said he was in the...
It wasn't even an apology.
I apologize for misremembering a few key details about what happened.
All right, but can we give this guy a break? Because how many times has Rosie lied about having a salad when this bitch ate a bucket of chicken? You know what I mean? If you add up all those lies, they at least...
That is true. Rosie, what'd you have for dinner tonight? A salad.
I had a half salad.
It's a salad.
I had a half salad and a raw half avocado on top of it. Oh my goodness.
Nothing else.
And then like earlier that day, she's chowing down on our third Baconator. You know what I mean?
I'll eat. Had me a donut salad.
Who hasn't lied about being in a helicopter that was shot down by an RPG? I mean, come
almost
on.
everybody.
Just misremembered, for fuck's sake. I thought I did throw the ring into the fucking Mount Doom.
You get confused. I mean, like,
now that I think about it, I took the ring and
was it the helicopter I wasn't on?
Myself, but
no, guys, it wasn't the helicopter I was on. It was the other helicopter I wasn't on.
I was on the helicopter behind that helicopter. No, you weren't.
Yeah, you weren't either. Oh shit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I thought about being on a helicopter while I was there. I'd be like, that'd be cool to be on a helicopter.
Well, one time I was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I saw there was like a helicopter tour, and I thought about taking it, and
it's pretty much the same thing.
I pretty much transposed that memory over in being in Iraq, and then I kind of realized, oh, okay, so it was kind of like that, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to make a correction and an apology. Last night, I described how I went onto an asteroid and sacrificed my life to set off a nuclear detonation charge at its core. I actually misremembered that event. It turns out I was watching Armageddon. So I'm sorry for that. You can see how I could get mixed up, you know, very pulse-pounding movie. Thought I was there. My bad.
Really cast a spell on me, you know, and just really felt like I was part of the action and, you know, got a little bit overzealous and memory fucking failed me again. You know how it is. I'm not watching this. How about Tucker?
Hey, it's Cucker.
How about Cucker?
Every day that he lives when he doesn't put the bow tie on, he's fucking lying.
Yeah. Every day that he puts that fucking regular, normal human tie on, he's lying to himself.
He's living a lie, dude. Only big boys get to wear that tie. You put on your little bow tie, you little pipsqueak.
So here's some stuff. Far more children died last year drowning in their bathtubs than were accidentally killed by guns.
Yeah.
All
right. It's a claim.
Okay. Carlson, guns don't kill people, bathtubs do. Gun safety advocates are pushing laws to make it harder for children to play with guns kept at home. A bill in New York legislature, for instance, would require gun owners to secure their weapons by either keeping them locked up or installing a trigger lock. Failing to do so could warrant fines, loss of firearm license, potentially jail. Behind the New York proposal lies the tragic story of a 12-year-old boy who was accidentally killed by his friend when he went over to the friend's house. Fox News discussed the New York story on Fox and Friends Weekend on August 9th, 2014. Tucker Carlson, show co-host and editor of the Daily Caller, a conservative news website, challenged the basic premise behind the bill. While the death of the child is still the worst tragedy imaginable, Carlson said there's a deeper truth. Far more children died last year drowning in their bathtubs than were killed by guns, Carlson said.
Killed accidentally by guns.
I'd like to see a package on, do you have a bathtub at home? Because I want to know before I let my child go over your house. A little perspective might be helpful. So here's just like some raw facts here. Age 15 to 17, drowned in bathtub, 7, accidental gunfire, 28. 10 to 14, drowned in a bathtub, 12, accidental gunfire, 29. 5 to 9 years, 3 drowned in a bathtub, 16 killed accidentally by guns. 0 to 4, 71 drowned in a bathtub, 29 died by guns. So I guess from 0 to 4, he's right.
Yeah, but overall, no.
Overall, no. Not really.
More people are killed by accidental gunfire, or children.
Yeah, so the bathtub, not quite the devastating, dangerous fucking thing that it's made out to be. And by the way, 0 to 4, you should definitely be supervising your kids. So,
yeah.
Of course, you should also be supervising them with guns, which seems like a pretty reasonable fucking requirement. Keep your guns in a safe place.
This can kill somebody.
What is this, fascism?
Yeah. Nah, a gun for each child, dude.
But more interestingly, Tucker Carlson actually recently revealed that he likes to lie. I'm actually going to go I'm going to go pull the video of this because it's way more interesting than just reading about it.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Tucker claiming that he lies when he gets cornered. He just outright said it.
Yeah, he's just like, he was being interviewed, I think by Dave Rubin, Tucker actually. Carlson. Here, he was being interviewed by Dave Rubin, and he pretty much just admits, like, yeah, I lie all the time.
Those two are butt buddies, so I'm not surprised.
So here, I'm going to play it on the Majority Report thing because it's just the first place I found it.
That's actually pretty recent. I actually, when I was doing research for another episode, saw part.
Yeah, this is not super old.
Foreign policy establishment, bipartisan, made for 20 years. Now, the real problem is some guy in Alabama who's got unauthorized views. It's like, maybe you should stop attacking these people because they are the weakest people in our society, and you're doing it in order to defend like the shittiest people in our society, but also the richest and the most powerful. You're the Praetorian Guard for the most powerful people. Like, how can you live with yourself? I mean that. That is so immoral.
What do you think the answer to that question is? How do they, when you have to cover some idiotic thing that Stelter said or Cuomo, just these clown people, when you have to cover it, right? Or Don Lemon, as you call him, like how do you think they live with themselves at this point when they just lie again and again? And we have the internet to expose the lies. If this isn't 20 years ago when you were on CNN.
Yeah. Seems like such a softball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Such a little.
Why do they lie?
How do you deal with all these disgusting liars?
Why is everybody else in the news media, except for you, such a disgusting lying pig, Tucker?
And you think he would just...
It's a layup.
You just take that and run with it.
Be like, you got me? I don't know how they sleep at night. No, he's just like, I'm a fucking liar too, man.
Listen to this shit.
And we couldn't expose things. We can expose it now, and they still do it.
Pause it. Incidentally, 20 years ago, and go back a little bit for me.
Shut up, Sam Cedar. I want to hear the fucking part that matters. Here we go.
Cedar.
Whoever that is.
How do you think they live with themselves at this point when they just lie again and again, and we have the internet to expose the lies? If this isn't 20 years ago when you were on CNN, and we couldn't expose things, we can expose it now, and they still do it.
Well, I guess I would ask myself, like, I mean, I lie. If I'm really cornered or something, I lie. I really try not to. I try never to lie on TV. I just don't, I don't like lying. I certainly do it, out of weakness or whatever. But to systematically lie.
I have to lie out of weakness. So that happens to everybody, guys. You get cornered. You get cornered, and it's like, you know what? I've got to lie here. I've just got to lie.
If I get cornered or shit's not going my way, I mean, I'm not above lying.
Bathtubs, murder machines, guns, pretty safe.
I mean, he just accurately described a lying sack of shit.
Yeah.
And admitted that
when it's more convenient to lie, I do, tell a lie.
I mean, when it's self-serving, I definitely lie. I mean, come on, all the time. I try my hardest not to lie on TV, but, I do it, all the time, really.
Pretty much constantly, almost every night.
Every night, yeah, that sounds about right.
What about Mike Huckabee? How about good old Mike Huckabee?
Now, Mike Huckabee is a man of God, TJ. And would never,
holy man, TJ,
never would let a lie pass his lips, lest he burn in the fiery fucking pits of hell, TJ. And you know this to be true. Why are you trying to slander this man?
He's the truest speaking man ever been. Look at him.
You can see that he's on his knees for Jesus. He's definitely got a face full of the blood of Jesus. He's just sitting on his knees.
Look, this is a politician too. He's a governor,
governor, pastor. Man of God, Mike Huckabee.
In 2007, governor, politician, and Huckabee Fox News host Mike Huckabee said the following. Most of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, by the way, were clergymen.
Bullshit.
Clergymen. Members, not just religious, but members of the fucking out-and-out clergy, robe-wearing, incense fucking lighting... the fucking monk chanting Dominus ante me Dominus.
So he said this while he was attempting to defend the sanctity of life and showcase how our country has turned away from God. So, out of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, Scotty, you could see it, but Paul, do you want to take a guess how many of those were clergymen of the 56?
I'm going to guess 0.0.
Hey, it's a little better than that.
You're wrong.
There was one. Oh. There was one clergyman among them.
There was one, Paul. There was one.
Pretty far cry, though, from most.
Yeah, that's definitely. I wouldn't say that would be most.
That'd be a little shy of most.
I'm definitely closer to the truth than he is.
Yeah,
you are. Yeah.
So this is Thomas Jefferson, of course, who was not all that fond of religion. I have examined all the known superstitions of the world, and I did not find in our particular superstition of Christianity one redeeming feature. They are all alike, founded on fables and mythology. There's Benjamin Franklin. I have found Christian dogma unintelligible. Early in life, I absenteed myself from Christian assemblies.
A wise move.
Basically just saying, this religious shit's a bunch of fucking hokum.
Yeah, let me go to this the church here. What's this all about? Ooh, this isn't for me. I'm gonna have to go. I can't waste my time with this.
And he's right about that too. He chose the perfect word, unintelligible, dude. I've had way too many conversations with Christians, and that's exactly the word, dude. Just like at some point, it becomes so cyclical and fucking full of nonsense that you don't even. It beggars belief that there's a fucking human being making the argument.
Yes. A shit ton of people who signed the Declaration of Independence were either deists, meaning they believe in God, but of course they don't believe that he takes any personal interest in the events of the earth. They just think he's like a
creator,
aloof creator that just set things in motion and fucked off, basically. Agnostics, who just feel like, there's really no way to know. Atheists, Thomas Paine, at least, pretty much an out-and-out atheist. So yeah, not really. Mostly clergy, although there were some religious ones too. Oh, this guy. Oh, I can't believe this guy would lie.
Bill, okay, wait a minute. I will let you smear fucking Huckabee, but not Billo.
How can I impugn this guy?
Billo loves rubbing your privates with Brillo, dude.
You know what, TJ? I feel this episode's been really unfair so far.
I'm sorry.
Really unfair, really uncharitable. I mean, I can't even think. I mean, like I guess maybe you can claim Brian Williams as more like liberal.
So this guy,
or whatever. But it seems like an attack on conservatives. TJ.
Billows is actually pretty fucking similar to Brian Williams. It's another story of like,
I'm brave.
I was there when some shit went down. Bill O'Reilly told different accounts of encounter at gunpoint in Argentina. Fox News anchor has told numerous media outlets of the experience at the end of the Falklands War, sometimes facing one soldier, other times several.
Depending on how brave he wanted to sound that day.
Bill O'Reilly has told different versions of an encounter at gunpoint that he claims to have experienced while reporting in Argentina, one involving a single soldier and the other detailing several troops. The Fox News anchor, who has been accused of exaggerating his accounts of wartime coverage, also once said he was shot at while reporting in the field, a statement he appears not to have repeated in recent years. Footage emerged on Sunday of the Fox News anchor talking in 2008 about having an M16 rifle pointed at him by a teenage Argentinian soldier who was 10 feet away, while O'Reilly reported on a riot in Buenos Aires at the end of the Falklands War in 1982. The guy was about 18, 19 years old, O'Reilly told interviewer Marvin Kalb in front of an audience, explaining he told the soldier, "Journalists, don't shoot," in Spanish. O'Reilly said, "He didn't shoot me." Wow, what a spoiler. 2 years earlier, however, O'Reilly told an interviewer that he actually had faced more than one Argentinian soldier who had guns trained on him. O'Reilly estimated that the soldiers had been standing twice as far away as he would later state. Argentinian soldiers were pointing guns at me from 20 feet away, he told an online interviewer. Claiming claiming to have showed no fear, O'Reilly said they didn't shoot.
They just respected him.
In the 2008 interview, O'Reilly also claimed to have grabbed a colleague and his camera as the cameraman was trampled by protesters. Yet, when telling the story on television the following year in another interview, O'Reilly said that a third member of their team had, in fact, tried to save the equipment.
Dude, he's been telling this porker for a long fucking time, and he's got all kinds of different versions of it, and he can't keep track of them.
The fish gets bigger each story.
Yep. Yeah.
So then I basically grabbed a combat knife and snuck single-handedly into the enemy encampment, and I killed them one after the next, in their sleep. Saved the United States. Ended the Cold War.
You ever heard of Metal Gear Solid? Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, based on my life.
Yeah, they were going to call it Billow Solid, but I wouldn't let them. I told them I'd sue them.
In a memoir, O'Reilly describes the experience of Buenos Aires as nearly getting my head blown off. And in exchange from his syndicated radio show a decade ago, O'Reilly went further. People were shooting at me, he said.
Damn.
While recalling firefights he encountered in his work in South and Central America. A spokeswoman for Fox News did not respond to an email seeking comment. O'Reilly was accused last week by Mother Jones magazine of exaggerating his role in covering the Falklands War as a young correspondent for CBS News. While O'Reilly claims to have reported on the war from a combat zone, he remained in Buenos Aires, the Argentinian capital, which was 1,200 miles away from the conflict.
He was a little bit of distance from the conflict. But, I mean, look, 1,200 miles, he's probably hearing about it. Like, dude, what's going on in that conflict area at 1,200 miles away? It's crazy.
What a lying fucking turd. What an old bellicose fucking turd this fucking guy is, man. Fuck Billow.
Yeah, guys, me and TJ have recently experienced some horrible California wildfires, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm
sure you have,
I'm so scared of those fires going. They're raging all around us. I mean, they might be like 1,900 miles away.
I went to go visit Paul in California, and
there's a wildfire going on.
I actually ended up saving several small woodland creatures from a fire that was...
That's all you did. I actually personally saved the sequoia trees that were under
it's crazy. I mean, while you were doing that, I was saving all those animals,
Interesting. Yeah.
It's crazy because the fires, they were right up on us, and I actually singed my eyebrows off. Luckily, they grew back pretty quick, but
fortunately.
Wow,
Man,
it was insane being there.
I didn't realize you guys were so heroic while you were down here.
Man,
I know, it was crazy.
All a day's work, Paul.
Really crazy stuff. Blah, blah, blah. He's a fucking lying son of a bitch, basically, what it boiled down to. CIA agent caught working for LA Times. So, long story short, Ken Delanian was caught lying about being an objective journalist when he was, in fact, working for the CIA and editing his stories based on their desires.
What? No. Are you saying the CIA was working with in tandem with the American press to produce propaganda?
In one of the many cases that led to his firing from the New York Times, for the Los Angeles Times, he even pretended only a single terrorist was killed in an American drone attack, when others confirmed it was up to 20, likely purely innocent rescuers who were killed in the attack.
So basically just a CIA plant in the Los Angeles Times to minimize stories that make America look bad and to frame America in the best possible light.
It's a damage control guy.
Yeah. Russia Today, can't trust it.
Nice try, TJ. You almost had me for
Russian
a second.
propaganda,
Russia
sorry.
Today. Oh, Beijing. Oh, okay, TJ. Nice try.
Nice fucking
But no, we're going to play this, TJ?
Yeah.
It says...
For this propaganda.
I want you to read something, TJ.
RT is funded in whole or in part by the Russian government.
Fake
so
news.
you know.
This is some fake Russian news.
It turns out that what Delanian was sending press officers at the CIA were drafts that were yet to be published, and also very detailed summaries of stories he planned and that he wanted the press officers to take a look at and even, according to him, correct what they had a problem with. Now, it's not unusual for a journalist to try to curry favor with the source in order to get them to speak to you and to help you with your story, but this really shows an uncomfortable level of collaboration, for lack of a better word, and it only shows a window of time that's very short. This was a couple of months in 2012.
So it's kind of a very brief, intense, maybe relationship. So what kinds of stories was he sending over to the CIA?
I wonder how these like Russian news anchors and fucking people like keep a straight face while reading this. Like, it turns out this guy was like influenced by the U.S. government and told what to say. How did they get away with this? As if they're not exactly the same shit.
I mean, you know,
the only thing shocking about this story to me is that the dude was even caught in the first place.
Yeah. I guess he must have been pretty clumsy because there's probably a lot more where that came from.
That's what I was going to say. There's got to be at least dozens of these people embedded in the fucking news media at various jobs and shit.
Oh, my God. Of course.
So this next one, this is about Juan Thompson.
Who?
Juan Thompson.
I think he's worked for Fox News, right?
Apparently, disgraced journalist. We'll find out why.
Oh, I remember Juan Thompson. Yeah.
A 31-year-old disgraced journalist has been arrested in connection with 8 bomb threats made against Jewish community centers and organizations across the country, federal authorities say. Juan Thompson of Missouri is accused of making the threats as part of an extensive cyber stalking campaign against his ex-girlfriend to harass and intimidate her. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York announced May 3rd. Thompson was fired by The Intercept last February after he was accused of fabricating sources in a story about the Charleston church shootings. On Twitter, Thompson claimed the threats were made by his ex-girlfriend, the FBI said in court documents. The FBI has been investigating more than 100 bomb threats made to Jewish community centers, schools, and the Anti-Defamation League, along with other Jewish organizations, since early January. There have been at least 5 waves of attacks, with multiple threats coming on the same day. Police do not believe Thompson is the main suspect behind the majority of threats, ABC News reports. Police sources told ABC News that Thompson appears to have taken advantage of national news coverage of the threats to continue his ongoing harassment against his ex-girlfriend in revenge for breaking up with him. Here's what you need to know.
What the fuck, dude?
During 2 threats, Thompson claimed there were bombs in a middle school and there was going to be a Jewish new town.
Okay.
This guy has got some serious fucking issues.
I'm going to go to the next one. Thompson is also accused of sending nude photographs of his ex-girlfriend to her boss. There you go.
Real nice of him.
Yeah, he's sending... he said on Twitter a nasty/racist hashtag white girl he dated sent a bomb threat in my name and wants me to be raped in jail. So this guy's basically having like this mental breakdown about his ex and using his status as a journalist for The Intercept to bolster fucking revenge plots against her and claim that she's making bomb threats against people that she isn't, and claiming that she's making bomb threats in his name when in fact he's making bomb threats in his name so that he can blame them on her.
Says Thompson claimed on his Twitter account that Francesca had made one threat in his name, but he couldn't prove it. He also made claims on his Twitter she threatened to kill President Donald Trump, and he was worried about being set up. Oh, so trying to go with that. Oh, I was hacked. Oh, I was set up. Someone else did it. It wasn't me.
He also tweeted what he believes was his Trump and the White House establishment's efforts to remove black people from the south side of Chicago. He was strongly against Trump and his presidency. Make no mistake, Trump is a developer. This is his and the white establishment's effort to remove black people from south side of Chicago. Worked, too. No more black people there. Thompson fabricated a cousin of Dylan Roof in a story about the Charleston church shooter for The Intercept. So basically,
just made up a source and
he just made some shit up.
Interviewed his own psyche for a story.
The same Juan Thompson, who claimed on Twitter he was being framed for the JCC bombings, was also fired from The Intercept in February of 2016 for fabricating quotes and making up sources. Betsy Reed, editor-in-chief, wrote in 2016, The Intercept recently discovered a pattern of deception in the actions of a staff member. The employee, Juan Thompson, was a staff reporter from November 2014 until last month. Thompson fabricated several quotes in his stories and created fake email accounts that he used to impersonate people, one of which was a Gmail account in my name. Gawker reported that Juan Thompson was fired, had used the @Juan M. Thompson Twitter account. According to a reporter from The Hill and Breaking 911, this appears to be the same person who was arrested for bomb threats. According to Betsy Reed, they found 3 instances when Thompson made up quotes and attributed them to people who he had not interviewed. There were also additional instances when quotes were attributed to individuals whose identities could not be confirmed. He also used quotes from unnamed people who couldn't be verified. Thompson went to great lengths to deceive his editors, Reed wrote, creating an email account to impersonate a source and lying about his reporting methods. She wrote that he even created a Gmail in her name, impersonating her. One of the fabrications came in a report about Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof. According to The Intercept, Thompson claimed he had spoken to a cousin of Roof named Scott Roof. Thompson said Scott Roof speculated his cousin may have been driven to the attack to attack the historically black church because kind of went over the edge when a girl he liked started dating a black guy 2 years ago. Here's a tweet he made about it, which he has since deleted, but was captured by Internet Archive. Dylan Roof cousin told me a black man stole Roof's love interest, thus his reign of terror. The Intercept later added an editor's note to the story saying that after talking to 2 Roof family members, they found Scott Roof does not exist.
To speak to Scott Roof. Who?
Good old Scotty Roof. Is he over there?
Where's
Can we holler at Scott Roof, please? And they're like, who?
And as a little cherry on top, he planned to run for mayor of St. Louis in 2017, according to his Twitter.
So this guy was just trying to do anything to social climb and make himself look more important.
Yeah, didn't work out, of course, because his lies were way too obvious, and he was, of course, caught lying and making up sources and making up people. And
I mean, like, he wasn't just doing it. Like, he was doing it in such a spectacular fashion. Like, Scott Roof. Like, no one's going to look into that. Like, who the fuck is Scott Roof? Because, there's like tons of news organizations that want to interview people associated with these fucking crazy events, especially like a mass shooting.
Yeah. According to an anonymous source close to Roof.
Yeah, that's all. He could have got away with if he had said
that. No, it's got to be like, I talked to his cousin, Scott Roof.
Give me Twitter clout.
And he said,
it's like, wait, there's no Scott Roof. How did you not think that was going to be discovered?
There must have been a guy named Scott Roof who tricked me.
And normally I'd say at the end of these that, if you like this, we can give you more. Right. But in this case, this is like pretty much every instance in all of American history of a journalist telling a lie.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Comprehensive.
Actually every single one. So this is a comprehensive final episode. No way to do a sequel to it. I mean, I guess maybe if you guys want, I could try to scrounge some more together.
Scrape the bottom of the barrel, but I mean,
this is pretty much it. So
shocking.
Thanks for watching. Yeah. See you next time. Bye-bye.
No malarkey, Jack. Back in my day, we didn't have any entertainment at all, except for the old Scranton Village Elder. He only had 2 teeth. That guy had 1,000,000 stories. I ain't joking, Fat. We'd sit in the cold every night to hear him tell the tale of the cat he ate once. Nowadays, what with the mobile pages and the web phones and Netscapes and whatnot, it's hard to figure out what even to watch. Most days I'll just surf AOL. Lost, Jack. How do I click off the page? Why are there so many browsers open? It's all too goddamn much if you ask me. Now listen, Fat, I've got your solution. It's called the Pessimist Productions Patreon. You can click the link below and bam, all the entertainment you need, Jack. It's like Willy Wink You know, the Chocolate Factory thing. Hundreds of exclusive shows. I ain't kidding. Exclusive streams, more news. You can't go wrong. So cancel that AOL. Join the Pessimist Productions Patreon now. Don't wait, or you'll be sorry, Jack.